Hello, I hope y'all are all doing well. It's January 7th, and today I'm back, of course. So, sorry there's been no videos, I think, for the past 2 or 3 days. Uh, Sorry about that. There's not a whole lot to talk about currently. Uh, or, like, there's not, nothing that's really significant, but today I do have a decent little bit of stuff to talk about. I hope y'all are all doing very good today. It's Saturday. Uh, yeah, so. These are the current temperatures around the U.S. right now. We're looking at some pretty cold air locked up into areas of South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota, even down in Iowa, northern Missouri, and like this area, like northwest or northern Illinois as well. We have that very cold air. Fargo and Grand Forks in the single digits. Minneapolis around 16 there. So yeah, very a cold afternoon in some of those locations. For the majority of like the Great Lakes area here, we're looking at temperatures in the 30s, pretty much, or right below freezing. The further north you go, and then into the Northeast, interior areas are in the 30s. Some areas below freezing, and then along the coast, lower 40s. Seem to be the story there. The West generally is pretty cold right now. We can see, many areas still below freezing or, well below freezing. And then even way down in the Southwest, we're looking at, just some temperatures into the 60s. So, not that warm, really. The warmest places right now, it seems, is like the deep areas of the deep South. Like South Texas is the warmest area in the country right now. Uh, it appears South Florida is also quite warm there. But then we do have more mild. We do have like more cool air over towards Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, but it's still not really cold. It's not really average. It's just kind of a little bit above average. Most areas over there. Uh, Still pretty cold. They're not really cold, but it's still chilly. But really the warm air is kind of locked into this area here. And this area here in Tennessee is a little cooler, of course. We have some rain in that area right now, which is helping to keep that area cool. So yes, generally right now the South, the Southeast is pretty warm, but then the rest of the country is pretty cold. Although a good bit of areas are still above average. It's not really average, like I just said. So yeah. Now what I want to talk about is pretty much what we're going to be looking at in the West over the next couple of days. So in the West, we're going to be looking at several storm systems that could bring some significant snowfall into the mountains of California, uh, and even other areas. So we just take a look at if this would load here. This is why pivotal weather is annoying. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so currently, like this afternoon, this is in a couple of hours, probably by the time this video comes out, 4 p.m. here, or wait, what is that in, I think this would be like 1 or 2 in Pacific time, but I'm not completely sure, but it's just really like early afternoon, on the West Coast, today. We're looking at already some precip started to move into areas in Northern California. Uh, and as we go into tonight, we can see how this more bands continue to move in, and just the snowfall rates in the mountains are just significant. Tomorrow afternoon, the GFS does indicate a little bit of a break across those areas here. Looking at other models here, we'll take a look at like the HRRR. As well as the HRRR does indicate that a good break. Actually, if we go back to the HRRR though, we could see this snowfall overnight tonight. Just a lot of rain in some areas as well, with flooding concerns. Tomorrow afternoon does seem to indicate a little bit of a break, but there will still be some showers, some snow showers around as well. And our next system comes in. This is Monday morning on the HRRR here, and we are looking at once again a large amount of rain coming in. But now we're getting a little bit further south with that precip. Now down into for like central areas of California. Uh, Good bit of snow there. Go over to the NAM 3 here. Indicates a very similar solution. By kind of morning Monday. I think this would be 8 a.m. We're still looking at all that. I mean, even the wind could be a little bit of an issue. We look at wind gusts, and I mean, it's very gusty in some of these areas, along with the rain and along with the snow. We're still looking at that heavy snow. All the way. I mean, this is Monday afternoon now. We're still looking at all that heavy snow in the higher elevations and a lot of rain in the lower elevations. Back over to the GFS here. You can see how it indicates that. And then we get like a very short period, like a very short break here. I mean, literally about like 5 hours. And then another storm system comes in on Tuesday. Which the European also seems to also have a like really short break before that storm system comes in, bringing more snow. Lingers. You have a little bit of a longer break after that before anything else as well. So I mean, it seems like everything will get back to normal by about like Wednesday for a little bit. I mean, although it'll still be very active across Northern California, probably Wednesday and into Thursday, but then maybe towards the next weekend is when we want to watch for our next stuff here. So I mean, the GFS quiet pattern for about 3 days, and we see a little bit more snow next weekend. So the GFS's like snowfall totals here are completely insane. Pretty much. I mean, totals well into the hundreds by the end. I mean, by the end of this week, already some areas getting 100 inches of snow by Monday. So I mean, the GFS's could be going a little bit over with this. We take a look at the HRRR here. Is this just through Monday early morning? And yeah, I mean, we can see some areas do pick up, especially up in Northern California, do pick up about in the higher elevations, maybe like over 60 inches in some areas. I mean, HRRR even indicates some areas getting over 100. Very localized locations getting over 100, so that'd be something cool. I guess, and then further down into California, still looking at a lot of snow. So, I mean, yeah. So I mean, this is a pretty significant winter storm for that area. Further north into the northwest, not looking at quite as much snow, but definitely areas of Idaho, areas of Oregon, and areas of Washington could be also looking at some snow. But not as much as we're seeing down in like this like portion of Southwest Oregon into California. So that's that. Now we're over on tropical tidbits now. I want to take a look at this temperature anomaly. So we're switching topics now away from kind of that snow to more of a like general kind of look at weather here. So these are temperature anomalies this morning off the GFS here. You can see, we clearly have a storm system right here, which we can see this afternoon. Most of the U.S. is above average temperature wise, with the exception of the West and some like very isolated areas of like eastern Tennessee. But I mean, generally, and like up into the northern plains, we see some areas with that where we have that really cold air. But I mean, still, this is a very warm pattern for the U.S. for sure. I mean, like 85-90% of the country is, I mean, maybe like 85, is above average. By tomorrow, no real changes. Just some areas in the West remaining below average. And then Monday, we're looking at really the entire East is above average. I'm kind of curious why those mountains right there, a little northwest flow there, I guess. I'm not completely sure why we are seeing that. Let me see. What does the NAM have temperature anomaly wise? The NAM tends to be cold, like have a cold bias, especially with afternoon temps. I've noticed that over kind of a long period here. But yeah, so I mean, we don't get a big change in this is next Thursday. We do look at a little bit of a cool down across the Northeast potentially. It's going to be very short lived. Thursday, we're still looking at the majority of the country being above average. Some areas just being very, very far above average temperature-wise. Temperatures, this is like 6, 7 p.m. Central and Eastern time there, Thursday. The Northeast is cold. Very, very cold in some areas, 20s. Below freezing temperatures all the way to the coast already at 6, 7, or at 7 p.m. Indicated on the GFS there. The Euro doesn't go out far enough, but I don't think this run will go back. No, okay, we gotta go back to the 0-0 Z to see here, but yeah, the Euro is a little not as bullish with that. We can see only temperatures in the 30s, but still pretty cold. Still pretty cold in the Northeast there. Just really not as cold not like what the GFS has. But that'll potentially be a cool down towards this week, towards later this week in the Northeast. And then we see this storm system like later this week around Thursday, for Thursday and Friday time range here. I can clearly see a cold air damming here. I would kind of ignore this for now. But yeah, and then we see them in Northeast, which is well above average. We see a brief cool down, next weekend, Saturday and Sunday in the East. But really, there's no letting up with the warm air in the East, really. The West is a little more average, still definitely appears to be slightly above average for the majority of the GFS run here. But then, really, the East just continuously gets waves of warm air. It's not really like extremely warm though. It's not like a complete torch. It's just enough to really make it so like nowhere in the south has the chance for snow ever. We could be looking at a little bit of snow tonight in areas of the Mid-Atlantic there, but we see the storm systems affecting the West. A few of these pieces of energy do kind of make it out into the plains a lot, but they kind of just die in the West, or go very far north. But we do see this one storm system actually make it into the plains. This is Thursday, like really late Wednesday night into like around midnight. We're looking at a low around the Texas Panhandle there. Not really organized. We do see a little bit of precip, a little bit of snow on the backside in Colorado. Take a look at what the Euro has for this real quick. If I can pull it up. Get the Euro. What the Euro has real quick. Why does the Euro... Okay, so the Euro is actually goes out all the way, almost to 12Z. Okay. That's interesting. So yeah, so Thursday, the Euro seems to have that low a little further east, as we can clearly see there. The GFS has it in the Texas panel. The Euro has it moving pretty quickly. It's in the already in northeast Oklahoma, right around the Oklahoma-Kansas border. And then as we go into Thursday afternoon here a little bit, that low really gets together. We see maybe even some storm activity potentially. We'll see. This definitely looks like a little bit of a decent storm system for that. It's weird to see a storm system in the middle of January with like absolutely no snow, even on one frame of the GFS in the central part of the country. It's kind of weird, but it's just how it is. So 18Z Thursday, we're looking at the Euro now. We can see that low's already up in that's 15Z. Let me get up to 18Z here. Yeah, that low is up near Indiana, and we actually, yeah, so 18Z Thursday. Low is well up into the Great Lakes already, which the GFS even does bring a little bit of a snowstorm into Friday, maybe for areas of Illinois, up into Michigan, maybe. The Euro doesn't appear to go as bullish with that as well, or does not appear to do that, but it does go into the Northeast and bring a little bit of some quick snowfall to northern Maine. Which the GFS also does. I'd say that's a pretty good bet. The GFS is like areas of northern Maine staying all snow, potentially getting a... GFS is a pretty big winter storm up there, actually. So yeah, this is going to be our next big storm system, really, as we go into next weekend. The European pretty much has us out by Sunday. So we'll see. The GFS still has it kind of lingering into Sunday a little bit, but I mean, not a whole lot. Sunday could be a little bit of a better day across the east, and Saturday in some areas. But yes, that's what we're gonna want to watch next. Severe weather-wise, so let's take a look. So Thursday, this is our 500 millibar winds. Let me get. I forgot the euro. The euro maybe had the severe weather threat a little. See, the euro is not going to be the best solution if we do. I mean, does not have the best event really happening. It's kind of like the timing's messed up with everything. So I mean, really, the best time that we would be looking, like where the third, where everything is like in place the best, it's overnight, which is not good considering this time of year we're really reliant on little instability that we can get. But Thursday at 9Z, this is Thursday morning. We have our low up in Missouri on the euro here. Pretty clear cold front. We have dews in the 60s, stretching all the way up into southwest Tennessee. I mean, we'll just take a little box sounding. It's not going to be anything interesting considering this is a week out, or not a week out. This is like 5 days out. But I mean, yeah, a little bit of a interesting type thing there. But Thursday afternoon, we can see that storm system is a little pretty far east. Thursday afternoon, I mean, we already have the low up in Indiana. We're looking at stuff into the southeast now. Dew points into the 60s up into around like northern Alabama, all the way up into the 50s though, up into like central Illinois, central Indiana. That'd be another area to watch once again. This area up here potentially up near that warm front in the low, up near that triple point. We could. This does share some characteristics of the storm system that we saw around the third, that multi-day severe weather outbreak, or the second, I think the third, and then the fourth as well. I think it was mainly over 3 days. Does show some similar characteristics to that, but I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal. You can see the trough is really not that amplified. It's really just a closed, like a cutoff low. The GFS very similar, although it's a little slower. GFS is a little bit of a better event in my opinion. We can see decent little setup right there. Looking at dew points, a little more moisture. Look at that moisture wrapping all the way around that low. But yeah, so I mean, we have very clear setup here for some storms potentially. And let me just pull up some stuff here. Yeah, so I mean, surface like based cape on the GFS here, we do have some. So I mean, I do think that depending on timing and everything, and this is the GFS. This is Thursday afternoon. This is not a bad sounding. Here we have like 1,000 cape. We have plenty. I mean, decent shear. 28 knots of surface to 1 kilometer. So I mean, we'll see. But I definitely think towards Thursday we could be looking at some severe weather. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all all have an excellent day, rest of your day today, and an excellent day tomorrow. I should probably have another video out tomorrow. But thank you for watching. Goodbye.